I'm Alshe from the Center for Excellence in Lavubu. We do trials on different cultivars. This cultivar, Maluma, is from Lavubu originally. It is a precocious cultivar. It bears really well. We get good results on it. We've also repeated the trials on Hass and Maluma. What we do is we apply different dosages of the product in different ways, and then we evaluate the outcomes relative to a control. So we'll start with a block, split the block in two and do one treatment in one block. The other half of the block is the control. We always try and do the trials on different sites across different climate zones.
It's important for us to have our farmers knowing and our consumers knowing that what we did here you can replicate exactly like that in your orchards. So we always spray with commercial spray tanks, and we always spray in conditions that is favorable for spraying, according to what will be on the label. So it's quite important for us to know that whatever we say here is commercially applicable, and that's what makes field work so important, because getting what you get in a lab and then moving it through to the field and then getting real results is one of the main issues in our consumer industry in agriculture. We harvest using standard practices and these bags that we put into bins. We then take a random sample of the avos. We take the fruit size and the fruit weight, where we then class it into a class 1, class 2 or bag according to industry standards.
It's important that we evaluate the trial using random trees in the treated and control parts of the blocks. We select the random tree, then we evaluate by first harvesting all the fruit off of the tree, weighing in kilograms the total fruit weight. Then we weigh individual fruit so that we know the fruit mass, and we also class the fruit to know what the pack out percentages would be, to relate this to a price for the farmer.
When we look at the fruit, there are several factors that we have to include. One of the first ones is hail damage, wind damage and chemical residue. One of the main chemical residues we find is copper. After copper sprays, this is a nice clean fruit. We also look for bumps and pimples. On a class 1 fruit you can have a maximum of 3 and less, whereas a class 2 fruit will have 5.
Here we've applied foliar sprays of 4 liters Kelpak, repeated it 3 times in the season, and after the applications during harvesting time we evaluate the block to measure the effect. We have trialed different treatments, including a drench treatment of Kelpak, foliar sprays repeated monthly, or a single foliar spray, and we've compared all of these treatments to controls in blocks. We've repeated the blocks to have a good scientific random block design, and we analyze the results statistically to then provide a report that's independent. This orchard that I'm standing in here is a Maluma orchard, about 7 years old. So far we are harvesting about 70 to 100 kg per tree, which is really looking very well. Over here I'm looking at a tree that seemed to have about 120 kilograms after the Kelpak application, which was 4 liters per hectare.
Most important thing a farmer is going to ask after a trial: does it make sense financially? We use the class and the marketable yield percentage and what the pack out percentage will be to answer that question in comparison to what the products will cost and what it costs to apply.